In today's video, we are going to build an automated trading strategy within ThinkorSwim from the ground up. This means we'll build the strategy, we'll build the scanner, we will build alerts that will let you know when new stocks appear on the scanner, and we're going to build conditional orders that are going to allow you to set and forget. So this will be a strategy that you will be able to only need to take a look at once a day. You'll only need like 10 to 15 minutes of screen time a day to utilize this strategy in ThinkorSwim. And it's going to be my favorite strategy, my reversal swing trade strategy. The thesis of this strategy is to buy dips on strong stocks and then look to exit for profit on the first sign of strength out of that dip. So let's go ahead and build the strategy first. I'm going to hop into Studies, Edit Studies. Under the Strategies subtab here, I will then hit the Create button. Make sure you hit that Strategies tab first so that when you hit Create, it actually creates a new strategy. We're covering a ton of useful content in this video. It's already going to be pretty long, so I'm not going to delve too much into like a coding tutorial right now. I have a lot of that content on my channel. Make sure you're subscribed if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But let's just sort of build the strategy together now. So if you're new to systematic trading, the idea is that you objectify the reasons for your entrance and exit. Remember, I said I want to buy dips on strong stocks, and then I want to sell the first sign of strength out of that dip. So we really have two instances that we need to objectify. What is a strong stock, and when is that strong stock on a dip? The way I do this, because listen, I've already built and I utilize this strategy, so I already kind of know the rules and how this strategy works. But the way I do this, to define that a stock is strong, I use the 200 simple moving average. If the stock closes above the 200 simple moving average, it's strong. If it closes below the 200 simple moving average, it's weak. So let's go ahead and let's plot a 200 simple moving average on our chart. I'm going to plot SMA, and then we are going to set this equal to the simple moving average parameter, or simple moving average function, with the parameter length set equal to 200. If we go ahead and run this, of course, we will now see the 200 SMA plotted on the chart. Unfortunately, we can't plot the RSI study in this same code block because the RSI study is a lower study, meaning it does not appear on the chart itself. It kind of gets its own lower section down here. If you don't understand what that means, I'll show you in just a minute when we actually have to manually add the RSI to our chart. To my knowledge, there's no way to create a code that both plots on chart studies and lower section studies. So instead of worrying about plotting the RSI value, we're just going to come in and we're going to build our buy variable. This is going to define our buy condition. So first, the current bar closing price must be greater than the 200 simple moving average, which we have stored in the SMA variable. So I can simply call that in, right? Current bar close is greater than SMA, which is of course a 200 simple moving average, and the RSI study function is less than 40. 40 is the value I utilize on the RSI to, once again, objectify that this stock is on a dip. Once again, this is system trading. System trading takes ideas and actually gives value to them. Hey, I want to buy dips on strong stocks. Cool. What does that actually mean? How do you quantify that? In system trading, we just did it once again with strong stock being above 200 SMA, dip being RSI less than 40. Now, for right now, let's go ahead and close out of our strategy code, hop over to the Studies subtab, and I want to add the RSI study. First off, you'll notice it jumps down to this lower block, which is why, of course, we couldn't also plot it in our price study up here, right? So now if we go ahead and hit apply, I have changed the lower band to 40. We can now see all the instances where we would like our strategy to be buying. hey, NVIDIA on the daily chart here is both above the 200 simple moving average and below 40 on the RSI. This is a strong stock on a dip. I want to buy. I'd like to be buying in this range, and in this range. So let's go ahead and get those orders actually set up in the chart. Luckily for us, when you create a new strategy in ThinkorSwim, you may have noticed this default action function add order here. We simply built our code above it. Now we are going to make use of it. I'm going to change this order type constant from by auto to by to underscore open. I only want this condition to open positions. We are then going to change our condition parameter from no, which just means that nothing will ever happen, to buy. Of course, remember, we have created a buy variable with our buy condition. So now if our buy condition is true, the condition to open will fire, aka an order will be simulated on the chart. I'm going to put in a comma. The third parameter of the add order function is price. I want it to buy the closing bar, the closing price of the current bar, because that is where we are going to be entering this strategy. You're going to run the scanner within the last 10 to 5 minutes of the day. Anything that's on it that you like, you are going to then buy at the close of the day. So that's where we'll have our simulated trades posted as well. So for now, let's just go ahead and run this. And this is all fine and dandy, except that there's only going to be one order per chart right now because we've not defined any reason for the trade to exit, right? So all it's going to do is it's going to buy the first instance where NVIDIA was ever above its 200 simple moving average and below 40 on the RSI. It has bought that, and then nothing else has happened. Of course, we have to define the exit conditions before we can actually start showing multiple trades. If you are at all interested in any of the strategies you see shown in today's video, they, along with over 80 other codes, are available for easy import on my website, daytradingstrategies.net. Link in the description down below. The sell condition of this strategy is very simple. Remember, our sell condition theory is that we want to exit the first sign of strength, and we are utilizing the RSI study as our objectivity of strength. So we're going to define our sell as RSI is greater than 45. Really, once I said just the first bounce of strength, we are looking to exit. This is a reversal strategy. We are targeting a high win rate. We are not targeting large wins. I am then going to add another add order action function. This one's going to get the order type constant of sell to close. Our condition is going to be our sell variable. Our price is going to be the close of the candle. As I now hit apply, here we go, we should now be seeing multiple trades where this situation is true painted on the chart, and it looks like indeed we are. So now whenever NVIDIA on the daily chart is both above the 200 simple moving average and below 40 on the RSI, we are entering. Then as soon as that RSI value shows any sign of a bounce, gets above 45 from 40, we are exiting. If I actually go ahead and come in, I have created a custom study that shows backtest data information. Click on that. You can see we have a 72% win rate, total P&L of $422. Right now, you will notice we are only entering 10 shares per trade. That is because if I come into my edit studies and into global strategy settings, the default trade size for entry orders, I have set to 10. I think by default it's actually 100. I was messing with it for something. So yours might look like this, but that is why the trade size is being calculated the way it is. We can adjust that. I'm going to hop back into my strategy code and I'm going to enter a new line of code at the very top. I'm going to declare this with a new keyword that we haven't used yet of input. I'll show you what that does in just a second. I'm going to name it position size, and I'm going to set my position size for right now to $5,000. Now, what this does, let's just go ahead and back out real quick. When using it as an input, you can actually see it now as a listed parameter of the strategy itself. I can now click on the settings cog of the strategy, and I can then come in and adjust easily my position size whenever I want to. If I'm scaling up, if I'm scaling down, if, whatever it may be, you just need to adjust your position size. You can now easily do that since we set it up as an input. Anyway, the fourth parameter of the add order study function is position size. And once again, if you enter nothing there, it's going to use the global strategy settings default of 100. What we're going to do now is we're going to call our position size parameter or position size variable, that we initialized with the value of 5,000, and we are going to divide that by the closing price of the security. So essentially, however many times the current bar close can be divided into 5,000. That is how many shares the strategy should be buying. You can now see when NVIDIA was trading at 107, the strategy bought 47 shares. Now when NVIDIA is trading up just around 130, the strategy is buying 38 shares. Now, I have to admit something to you. I haven't been fully honest with you about this strategy yet. There's still one huge secret to this strategy that I haven't covered in this video yet. What we're going to do, we're going to come back into our edit studies. We're going to go back into this global strategy settings, and I'm going to change this from allowing up to one entry order in the same direction to allowing up to 10 entry orders in the same direction. The purpose of this strategy is to scale into positions. That is why I set my position size at 5,000. With this strategy, I am willing, with my account size currently, to enter up to $50,000. So whatever you are willing to enter, whatever the size of your account is, divide that by 10 and make that your position size, because you are going to be scaling in with this strategy. Now, it's rare you actually do enter 10 times. It's usually more like this, 3, 4, 5 times before you get the bounce. But once again, this is the purpose of the strategy. What this means is that as long as the stock is above the 200 simple moving average and below the 40 RSI, it will enter up to 10 times. And look at what that did to the win percentage on NVIDIA. Before I did that, I believe it was 70%. It is now at 83%. And of course, the total P&L goes up too, but we're using more capital. You would hope the total P&L goes up. What we're really targeting with scaling into positions like this is, once again, that higher win rate. You now have my favorite trading strategy, but that's only step one of this video. And honestly, maybe even the least important step. Anyone can have a strategy. I can give you all of the best strategies in the world, but if you can't find the stocks to trade, which is the step we're going to do next in building the scanner, and then if you can't automate that trading process, you're probably not going to be able to trade it correctly. So remember, we're about to build the scanner. We're still going to go over the automation of alerts and conditional orders. So probably most of the value of this video is still coming. For now, let's go ahead and hop into the scanner so you can find the stocks to trade with this strategy. First, we're going to add 3 stock filters, which are going to be a little bit more subjective, a little bit more up to you and your trade goals. So let's go ahead and hop into it and you'll understand what I mean. First, I'm going to add a stock filter and I'm going to add last. This is just going to be the current price of the stock, basically. I set my minimum last price to $1. I don't want to trade penny stocks. I don't ever foresee myself trading penny stocks. Never say never, I guess. But that is why I add this stock filter. Don't show me anything less than $1. I don't have a max range. I don't care how expensive a stock is. I, at this point in my trading career, thankfully, have I don't even want to say large account. It's like around 180 grand. In the grand scheme of trading, that's probably still like a low, medium size account, but I feel comfortable trading up to any price. Now let's go ahead and add in another stock filter. This one is going to be a little bit of fun. So it's going to be a market cap stock filter. It is set to millions of dollars. And what I do personally, I set mine to a minimum market cap of $200 million. Once again, this may be dictated by my account size. I am more so looking for consistent moves rather than extreme moves. Does that make sense? I am targeting a higher win rate rather than looking for huge wins. When you target those more volatile stocks, yes, you can get bigger wins, but you can also get much larger losses. And as I found over my trading career, those more volatile stocks also don't make as assuredly of moves, don't make as predictable of moves. So if you are maybe trading a real small account, so you're kind of looking for bigger moves, which I don't necessarily agree with, but this isn't a trading psychology video, so I won't jump too deep into that. But, you can set this up as well to look at, hey, I only want to see a max of, 100 mil market cap instead. Once again, completely up to you. Then the third stock filter I'm going to add, this one a little bit less subjective. I think it's something everyone should have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I set my minimum volume to $1 million. You don't ever want to be messing around with low liquidity stuff. You end up with horrible bid to ask spreads. You can get stuck in trades. Just don't ever mess with low volume stuff. It must have traded at least 1 million shares of volume on the day. If we were to run this scan now, we should see every stock that meets our setup, the types of stocks we're looking for. Just take note that we are currently getting 1,184 results. Now we get to hop into the meat and potatoes of this scanner. We're going to come in, we're going to add another filter. This time we are going to add a study filter. And this is where we are going to enter in the same conditions as our strategy, the above the 200 SMA and below 40 on the RSI, so that we are only seeing stocks in our scan results that are currently matching our entrance criteria. So I'm going to click on the pencil of this study. I'm going to hop into the ThinkScript editor, and I'm basically just going to type in the same conditions we did in the strategy. Close is greater than the simple moving average with the parameter length set equal to 200, and the RSI is less than 40. All I have to do is type that in your scan and your study filters like this. You don't have to use semicolons. You don't have to define variables. You can simply type out the condition. We are running it under the daily aggregation, which is set like that by default. Just want to make sure you recognize that. Now, if I run this scanner, we should see our results drop from 1184 all the way down to 108. Now, these stocks on this scanner should be matching our setup. The first stock, I believe, was FLS. Yes, indeed, FLS is above the 200 simple moving average. Sorry, move my big head. Above the 200 simple moving average, below 40 on the RSI. You can actually see the strategy has already scaled into this thing twice. Now, there's still one more huge secret I'm going to share with you about this scanner. Right now, we don't have it sorted by anything. I think it actually is just going to come out if I run it again. I think I did have some custom column turned on. It should just come out. Yeah, it's just going to come out in alphabetical order. We want to sort this by something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a custom column that is going to show us the distance that the current closing price is away from the 200 simple moving average. So what it's going to do is it's going to show us top-down stocks that are the highest above their 200 SMA. So we're going to see the strongest macro-wise stocks that are currently on dips. So I'm going to come into this little cog here to the right of my header columns. I'm going to click on customize, and I actually already have a column created. So I'm just going to use that. But what you're going to do, and don't worry, I'm going to show you the code too. I'm not going to hide it from you. But what you're going to do, you're going to type in the word custom. You're going to see like custom 1 through 19. I just have already used these custom columns, so I don't have the same names. It's showing my columns that I've already used, right? And the one I'm going to click on is percent. No, wait. What is it called? I think it's called this average distance one. So what you're going to do, it's going to say like custom whatever. Pick any of them, click into the scroll, and then you are going to type in this same code. plot X equals open parentheses, close. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is basically your percent distance of the current close from the 200 simple moving average. I'm trying to leave this up long enough that you can type it in. Pause the video now if you haven't quite gotten there yet, but that's what we're going to do. Oh, and I'm going to make sure to run it on the daily chart too, as we are using this as a swing trade scanner. So I'm going to apply this. This is average distance is what I named it. I'm going to double click on the column so that it actually adds to this right column here. And now I should have the percent distance of the current bar close on the daily from its 200 simple moving average. And if I sort this top down, we should now have the strongest stocks at the top of our scan results. Number one now being Carvana. If I go look at Carvana, this stock is, yes, extremely strong. I believe it said it was like 32% above its 200 simple moving average or something. If we check that, it is indeed, if you can see that really small number there, about 32, 33% away from its 200 simple moving average and currently on a dip. The strategy has already begun to scale into it, but that's fine. You just now see that the stock is meeting the buy conditions and is a very strong stock. So that's the scanner. What we're going to do now, we're going to come in, click on this middle hamburger icon here, save this scan query. I call it whatever you want. I don't remember what my actual one's called. I'm going to call this reversal with a few L's just so it stands out from my actual reversal scanner I already have saved. I have saved this scanner. I'm going to open my left-hand drawer here, and under one of my watch list gadgets, if you don't have a watch list gadget for some reason, you may need to click on this plus button down here and add one. I'll just add a new one for whatever reason. I'm going to click on this, which is going to give us a drop down of all of our watch list. I just named mine. It's of course personal, and I just named it reversal with a bunch of L's. That would be this one here. Great. What I'm also going to do, now I'm of course seeing the stocks that are appearing on my scanner, I'm also going to click on this little settings icon next to the headers. Once again, click on customize. I don't care about seeing the bid, ask, whatever, symbol, last net change, whatever. Add in there what you want to, however works for you, but make sure you add in, once again, that average distance custom column. Remember, we created that is the distance away from the 200 simple moving average so that you can also sort this top down the same sort of way. And make sure you link this to the same colored link as your chart. So I currently have this chart linked to one red. Now that I have also linked this watch list to one red, whenever I click on a stock on this watch list, it auto populates to the chart. So now you're starting to see, we're starting to get into some of that automation of how easy you running a strategy like this can be. And we haven't even gotten into the automation of alerts and orders yet. But just imagine now, you're at the end of the day, maybe you're still at work, maybe you're about to leave the office. It's coming up on 4 o'clock market time, Eastern time, and you are looking at what you should enter at the end of the day for this strategy. All you would need to do, turn on your ThinkorSwim, open up this left-hand column, and you can just simply click through these stocks, and hey, here is all the stocks that are currently setting up. Just that easily, you have the list, you can populate them to the charts, you can begin to look at them. Now check this out. I told you I was going to get you set up with automated alerts that will give you an alert within ThinkorSwim whenever a new stock is added to this scanner. You can also have them sent as text messages to your phone or to your email that you have linked with your Charles Schwab account, and I'll show you how to do all that as well. But it's very easy. This is the easiest thing we've done in this video so far. All you need to do, left click once again on the name of your watch list. And this time, instead of obviously choosing a new watch list, you're going to come down to this bell, alert when scan results change. Obviously click on that. You can set the events to either added, removed, or added or removed. I'm just going to go with added. So obviously, if a new stock pops up, send me an alert. Create. There you go. Since we just created this scanner today, it alerts me with everything because, hey, they're all new today, right? But now what I can do into the Market Watch tab and into the Alerts tab, I can now see that this alert is running. If you would like to also have these alerts either sent to your phone as text messages or sent to an email address, what you need to do, come to the setup in the entire application here in the top right, go into your application settings, hop into notifications. This is where you will add email addresses that you would like to use or add in your phone number, and or you can do both if you would like. And then you can set up all kinds of sort of system notifications, blah, blah, blah. But if you're interested in having this scanner specifically send you text messages or emails, right click. I'm going to right click on this line in my Market Watch Alerts tab, and I'm going to go to Alert Notifications. And of course, I didn't enter my email or phone number because I love you all. I don't want you to have my phone number or my email. If you have those entered in, these checkboxes will be available. You can either have the email sent or you can have text messages sent. And this is actually really nice. You can set it so that text messages are only set during market hours, or that text messages are sent whenever. So choose from that what you would like if that's the setup you would like to go with. But that's how you automate alerts. So now you don't even really need to be paying attention to the scanner at all. You will be notified if a new stock is appearing on it. Now for maybe the most exciting part of the video, probably what you've been looking forward to, the automated orders. I've gone ahead and hopped into the simulated trading side of my ThinkorSwim account for this part. One, because it's New Year's Day, the markets are closed. I couldn't place real orders if I wanted to anyway. Second, I don't want to place these real orders. I just want to show you how to do it. If you can't tell from the verbiage I've been using so far while creating this strategy, the strategy itself won't place trades for you. That's not what these strategies within ThinkorSwim do. They're not capable of doing that. They simply showcase where trades would enter and exit. This serves as a way to automate the data gathering for back testing rather than automating the actual orders. To automate the actual orders, we need to create conditional orders. The first thing you must do is you must come into your active trader and ensure that auto send is off. Now, if you can't see this right-hand column, maybe you've already changed this, you have to come to this kind of square here in the top of your charts tab. Click on this, make sure show sidebar in cells is checked. That will pop this sidebar up, of course. Then you can click on Active Trader, and you want to make sure this auto send box is unchecked because we will need the order confirmation window to build our conditional orders. Now, if you also don't see this auto send, maybe you've already turned it off, you need to come into the settings cog on your ThinkorSwim and turn on that auto send on off button into your current set. Do that, make sure it's unchecked so that when we go to place a buy order, actually I can just use the active trade window now. When I go to place a buy order, we get this confirmation dialog. Now, before we proceed, I should mention that I am doing this from the SPY chart. So the idea here is that I want to trade SPY, of course, being the S&P 500 index. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an order that when our buy condition is true, the order will fire on this chart. Anyway, now that we have our order confirmation dialog popped up, I'm going to click on edit, which is going to give us a separate little dialog check down here. Then I'm going to click on this little cog on the far right of this order, and this is now going to pop up our order rules where we can begin to build our conditional order. First, I hit buy market to create this order. So of course, my price rule is set to market. You just want to make sure that is true on any conditional order of this sort that you make. You do not want to be using limit orders. The limit price that this throws out is 586.68. Current price of SPY 586.08. But say if when the next time SPY is both above the 200 SMA and dips below 40 on the RSI, it is above whatever limit price you selected, then the order wouldn't go through. It would just place the limit order at a price that is too low to execute. So you would then just have a random limit order setting out at a random price rather than actually executing the trade at the conditions that you would like them to execute at. So make sure your price rules are set to market. Second, this is a swing trading strategy. So you don't want your time and force set today. What a day time and force means is that the end of the market close from the day that you posted this order. If I post this order today at 4 p.m. Eastern when the market closes, the order will be void, will be auto canceled. What you want to set yours to, since it's a swing trading strategy, it may be open for multiple days, if not weeks. You want to set yours to GTC, which stands for good till canceled. This order will now remain open until you manually go and cancel it. Now comes the conditional part, why the order will trigger. What we're going to do, a little weird, I'm not sure why you have to do this, but click into this little area here below symbol. It will auto-populate in the symbol you are currently looking at. Then just click off and it will turn on this method here, which we are going to go down to study, and we are going to go into edit, and you could probably guess what modal this is going to pop up, a very similar one to multiple that we've seen throughout this video. And once again, as we've done multiple times throughout this video, oh, it actually, look at that. It actually comes with a simple moving average. Nice. We are going to type in our condition. So close is greater than the simple moving average with a length parameter set equal to 200. And say it with me now, the RSI function is less than 40. Go ahead and hit OK on this. Now, something I want you to do every time you place a conditional order, I want you to read this description box. This description box is unironically extremely helpful because it puts into plain English what your order is going to do. Wait until the following condition is satisfied. SPY study close greater than SMA length 200 and RSI is less than 40 on the daily. Remember, we didn't set anything. We didn't touch the aggregation because by default, it is set to daily. But if I come back into the edit modal, this is your aggregation here. And obviously, since we're running a swing trade strategy, you want to make sure it's on the daily time frame. Is true. This order will show a wait condition wait condition status during waiting. This just means like while looking at it in your monitor window, you will see waiting. Submit the following order, buy plus 100 SPY at current market price. The order is valid until it is either filled or canceled. That all sounds well and fine. That all sounds perfect. You could go ahead and save and send this order. You will see a market order placed out on your chart, but it of course is not going to execute because right now SPY's RSI value must not be below 40, even though SPY is currently on this dip. Can I turn on the Okay, thank you. Oh, wow, look at that. The RSI on SPY actually today, this is January 1st, 2025, is 40.1. So on this dip, not quite broken below 40 yet. So the order is out there and waiting. If we hop over into our monitor tab, you can see under this working orders sub tab, we have our order out there under the wait condition. So you can see that the order is active, just waiting to be filled, and it will be filled if SPY closes below 40 RSI. Then once you were in a position, you could set up a conditional order for the sell the exact same way. So I hit sell market, edit on the confirmation window, click on this little right cog here. We have sell, market. I'm going to go ahead and set this to good till canceled. Click into the symbol, click into the method, study, edit, think script editor, and then our sell condition is going to be in the RSI is greater than 45. Okay, make sure you confirm that in the description. Wait until the following condition is satisfied. Study RSI over 45 on the daily chart is true. Save, confirm, and send. That is how you would set up your exit conditional order. So as you're seeing here, this is more so semi-automated. Unfortunately, you're still going to have to go in and manually create these conditional orders every single time and for every single stock you would like to trade, but it still helps a lot. It still really cuts down on the screen time that is required for the stock market. You could just go pick 5 to 10 stocks that you want to trade. Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Apple, SPY, blah, blah, blah. go set all your buy orders out on those for this strategy or any strategy. Listen, as always, I'm not telling you to go trade this strategy. I give you all access to my codes so that you can test them and utilize them to learn how the market works. But always test strategies yourselves. Anyway, you can go set those buy conditions out on those stocks and then watch. At the end of the day, just check your monitor window, see what has filled. When one fills, quickly run out, set that sell conditional order on that stock. When it sells, turn around, put the buy order back on that stock. It really cuts down. Once again, this is going to be great for people that are still working jobs and still trying to maybe make a little income from trading, or just people that for any other reason can't spend all day staring at their stock charts. Once again, remember, if you would like to get a massive head start on your systematic trading journey, head on over to daytradingstrategies.net, linked in the description down below. Click on our code. You can get signed up for one low price. You're going to get access to over 80 published strategies, studies, scanners. I have some example conditional orders actually in my website as well, so you can plug and play with some of those. Just a ton of stuff that's going to give you a huge head start. And of course, if you would like to learn this skill yourself, feel free to check out the course. Daytradingstrategies.net. Once again, linked in the description down below. Sign up, become a better trader today. With all that being said, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you would like to learn more. With all that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. Say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bud.
Happy New Year.